There's the unboxing. I've gone ahead and I've taken the dash apart now, getting ready for the new dash to be installed. I still have to take the bezel and dash out of the back of this and place it onto the new one. And I still have to drop the glove box in order to get the plugs in behind it that connect to the new stereo. Still a few more steps, and then we will be making a video of all the plugs for the new stereo and where they go and how they can't plug into any other plug but the right plug. I got the gauges out in the faceplate, and I am now about to take the gauges here, the display, out of this, the factory bezel, and put it into the new one in order to fit the new stereo into the car. After unscrewing the dash gauges out of the factory bezel, which is this, and putting it into the new bezel that came with the stereo, it should look like this. And now the screen, after installation, will clip onto here and flow into it so it has room. Now that the bezel and the gauges are connected together, we can go ahead and put the screws back in now. One there, one there, one there, one there. Now we're going to start running the main harness that connects to the new unit that they sent, the screen. This is the end that goes into the back of the screen. These connect to the car, the MMI system, and this is what tells the screen everything about the car, how it connects, the power, everything. These are two USB cords that you can plug in a aftermarket camera to, DVR to, USB stick, whatever you feel like. Now that I got the main harness wired everywhere, I can start plugging it into the destination which they belong. I will do the heater control first, which are these two plugs, and they go into the back of the heater AC control. Now there's only one plug that this can fit into, and it is this brown one right there. So I will go ahead and plug that in and show you guys. Now that I got the control out, the plug out, I can go ahead and plug it into the harness like I was saying. Now this only gets plugged in one way. It can't fit into this plug, it can only fit into this. The other plugs in the harness aren't the same. They will not fit. Like I was saying, there's only one plug and one spot for each plug. So I will go ahead and show you guys. It's going to be a little tricky as I am the only one with the camera and doing installation again. So here we are. You want to hear the click? Make sure it's in there nice and solid. Alright, so now the AC heater control is plugged into the main harness, which will plug into the stereo, the new stereo. This is the other end of that. This goes back into the AC control. So you'll still get all the same functions. Like I was saying, there's only one spot for it. And it plugs in right in there. I want to make sure they're nice and firm, tight. There you go. So we have it. The AC heater control plugged into the main harness here, and then routed back into the AC heater control. The next step is grabbing the main harness plugs that connect into the MMI system, which is the computer system of the car, underneath the dash. Now once again, these two plugs only fit into one spot. There is no other plug under here that would fit this plug. I couldn't plug a different one into it. This is the only plug that fits into the MMI system computer, which is this plug right here. So I'll go ahead and take this out and plug it in like we did with the AC heater control. There it is. So we're going to take this, plug it into our main harness that connects to the screen. That's the plug, the only plug that fits. Let me just place the camera down here for 1 second. All right. As you can see, our connection to the main MMI system computer is nice and firm, nice and connected. Now the other end of the harness will connect back into the MMI system for the car. And that just goes right up here like so. Back in, nice and clicked. So there we are. We have it all perfectly done the only way it can go. There we go. Now the next thing that we're gonna have to do is hook up the coder to the main harness, which is the fiber optic coder, which is right here. And this basically gets hooked in through the back of the CD changer. The CD changer has a main fiber optic cable, which comes out like so. There you are. And once again, like I said previously, there's only one way for this to click in. It will not fit, so you can't force it in even into another location. It's all plug and play. So here we go. We're going to plug this into the coder. Plug this into the coder wires, which is here. And then this splits it into two, basically. So you can keep all the stock radio and all the controls for it. So this will go in like so, and then it'll split it off and go into the coder and then back into the screen. So bear with me here, please. Like I said, one way to do it only. That's it. Nice and click, nice and firm. Now we're going to grab the only end that fits back into the code box, which is here. And we will be plugging this in to very difficult with one hand. I was trying to find a better angle to do this for you guys, sorry. Okay. So like you can see, that goes into there. That's the one coming out of the CD player. Putting it into the coder box. Clicked. So we know it's in there nice. And then now the third connection that's coming out of the coder box goes back into the CD changer, so you can keep using your factory CD changer, and that will click as well. Nice. So that's all nice and firm now. Okay, one other step for under here, and this will be the last step for underneath, is you're going back to the main harness, which is coming out for the new screen. There's a connector here, and this connects into the back of the coder box as well, right there. Once again, there's the only spot for this plug to fit into. There's nowhere else for it to fit into. And I'll go ahead and let me get you set up. Plug it in right there. Let's get it in. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead like so. Nice and firm. So we know this is all set up properly now. All set up properly. Alright. So now I can go ahead and basically button that up. Put the glove box back up. I have no more wires to run there. That's all set up now. The main harness is there. I just have to plug in the GPS antenna and the speaker, which are very simple, straightforward. Now we're ready to start plugging in all the hookups that we just finished wiring into the car, into the back of the new screen. Now we have here the MMI system, the original one that came with the car. That is going to be plugged into this right here. Then we have the main harness, which we're just finishing wiring, which you've seen in the previous videos and plugging in, which is this. That plugs into there. Next, we have the GPS antenna, which is right here. That will go into there. Then we have the one for the backup camera, an extra ground that needs to be grounded to the chassis of the car. And we have an accessory wire on this one, which needs to be plugged into the accessory so it turns on with the car. And that is about it. And that's this one that plugs into there. And we are going to go ahead and start attaching all these. Once again, there's only one spot for all of these plugs to go into. There's no two alike. There's only one spot. It is virtually impossible to hook it up wrong if there is no other spot for the plugs to actually go into. So here we go. Let's plug these in. Let's get that in there. You want to hear a click with these as well. There you go. Now the car is off, the battery is unplugged. You want no voltage running through any of these wires when you're plugging and playing with these. You also want to make sure, there you go, nice and clicked. You also want to make sure that your ground is properly connected, like I said, to the chassis of the vehicle. And you can test that with a voltmeter first to make sure that it's tested. Here's the main MMI. And this, like I said, the only spot for it to go is right there. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this plugged in here. You can't put these in backwards. They only go in one way. There you go, nice and firm. Now let's get the GPS antenna. I apologize for the shakiness of the video. Like I said, I'm trying to do this by myself, and it is extremely difficult to wire in by yourself and hold a camera. So, here we go. This is the GPS antenna, like I was saying, and that gets screwed on. So it's nice and tight. Alright, okay, so we are all plugged in here. This is every plug that goes in. We are wired in correctly to every spot. And we are going to button everything back up, put all the screws back in, get the glove box back up, and we will be turning the unit on and showing you how the sound, the Bluetooth connects to it. I could show you the sound comes through, but the screen, the backlight on the screen here will not come on. The screen actually knows when you're touching it, like when I go to touch it, because you can make the sound stop with it, and I'll show you that as well. But literally it's just the backlight on the screen does not work whatsoever, and you cannot use the system without the screen. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and button this all back up, and I'll get back to you in a minute here and go ahead and show you that. Thanks. So I've gone ahead and I finished the installation. I got the glove box back up, and I've gotten the screen all buttoned up and all the screws put back in here. It was about a few hours at least to say. And so as you can see, we can hear music coming through the unit, but there is no screen whatsoever, no backlight, no nothing. I can try pushing any buttons, nothing comes on. The screen is completely dead. I can also show you that I am connected to it on Bluetooth. I will take a screenshot of my phone, so it is recognizing that it is on and the Bluetooth is on. The thing that is wrong with it is the backlight does not work, so the screen does not operate. So it's just not functional. It's a faulty product and broken. I've installed it correctly. I've plugged every wire in. I've gone over it about 5 times now, and yeah, it's faulty. It's broken. Thanks.